I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. And welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 382, Glossary part 18, while doing morning stretching. And if you participate in the morning stretching, that is at your own risk. Stand in office. That means apply to be elected, for example, as a member of parliament or councillor. Stand for office. So that means to apply to be elected. So people who are over 18 anyone aged 18 or over can stand for election as a member of parliament. And I think all what we say. Standing for office. Most citizens of the UK, Ireland or the Commonwealth over 18 can stand for public office. Members of the House of Lords may not stand for office to the House of Commons, but are eligible for all other public offices. So stand for office means to apply, hey, I want to be elected as councillor or member of parliament. To go on strike, that means refuse to work in order to protest against something. Where we heard many problems in the economy in the 1970s. In the late 1970s, the post-war economic boom came to an end. Prices of goods and raw materials began to rise sharply, and the exchange rate between the pound and other currencies was unstable. This caused problems with the balance of payments. Imports of goods are valued at more than the price paid to exports. Many industries and services were affected by strikes, and this caused problems between the trade unions and the government. People began to argue that the unions were too powerful and that their activities were harming the UK. So strikes. Many industries and services were affected by strikes and some people thought that this was too much. Strike means not to work, to protest against something. And some people thought in the 70s that these strikes were too many, that they are causing more harm than they're doing good. So a strike is to refuse to work, and so to get attention by that, and also to cause a problem because the work is not done. And that is done to protest against something. Successor in the sense of government. A person who comes after another and takes over an office or receives some kind of power. For example, a son who becomes king when his father dies and his successor, or daughter becoming queen after her parent. So a successor is the following person. So it can be just someone else taking the office over. Who's the successor of Margaret Thatcher? That would be interesting. Because we're having their little... Okay, there's something missing. John Major. And then Tony Blair. John Major and then Tony Blair. So successor. So John Major was the successor of Margaret Thatcher, and Tony Blair was the successor of John Major. Suspend. To stop something from happening or operating, usually for a short time. So if something is suspended, then it stops to work for usually a short time. We had to the Northern Ireland Assembly. That was suspended a couple of times and can be suspended by the British Parliament or by the Houses of Parliament if there isn't an agreement reached in the Northern Ireland Assembly. And it happened a couple of times that the Parliament was suspended, usually for a short time. So we're having here now a serious subject about terrorism. Terrorism is violence used by people who want to force the government to do something. Oftentimes it's not even that demanded. The violence is usually random and unexpected, so that no one can feel really safe from it. So terrorism, as the word says, is to spread terror. So it has no targeted people oftentimes, and it's oftentimes unexpected and should oftentimes hit especially the people who have nothing to do with it oftentimes, and intentionally the people who are the most innocent to the cause oftentimes. And it should just spread terror, and oftentimes there's no goal behind it, and oftentimes there's also nothing of the government demanded. It's completely just to spread terror. The next thing, the phone book. A book which contains names, addresses and phone numbers of organizations, businesses and individuals. So phone books exist, and that is a book. There are a lot of numbers, like here with the words written, and the next to them is the business, an organization, or address written. So people can look there. Maybe they can find a person. If they have a name, they can look if they are in the phone book after the name. And then there's a telephone number, and they call them, and then they can talk to them. Or also organizations or businesses, so someone can search someone to the cleaner also. And then they are maybe they're written. So a phone book is a book with a lot of telephone numbers in. Then there's theft, that is the criminal act of stealing something. So theft is taking something in a criminal way, and it is not allowed to take it. It doesn't belong to the person just takes it. That is theft. And it's taken away from something, so a criminal act of stealing something. Someone has something, and someone else takes it, and they are not allowed to take it, and the other person doesn't have it anymore. Trade union, an association of workers formed to protect and further the interests. An association of workers formed to protect and further the interests of its members. And further the interests of its. I'm not able to find a way to read that sentence in a grammatical correct way. So it's either my inability or the sentence as well. An association of workers formed to protect and further the interests of its members. If there's an "and", then there has to say it again, a word again. And further, to protect the interests of its members. It has to be named again. An association of workers formed to protect and further the interests of its members. I know what it means. It's not a sentence. There's no dot. It's not a sentence. It's a trade union is an association of workers formed to protect, and it's further the interest of its members. That would be possible. A trade union is an association of workers formed to protect, and further, it are the interests of its members. So trade union versus an association of workers formed to protect. We're going to do it again in the next part. Now we're going to do morning stitching related on time. If you participate in the morning stitching, that is at your own risk. You can go directly to the next part if you're just here for trade union and then a continuation. We're doing forward short circles. We're going back, up, and front, down. And we're going in front and down and back and up and in front. And now we're going to do the same thing backwards. We're going in front, up, and the last time. Front, back, and down. Now we're going to do that. Yeah, breathing in. And lifting the shoulders up. Out of letting them fall down. Again in, the shoulders up. Out and down. Again in. And down. One last time. the elbow pucker, arms up, and reach high. Pretend to grab an apple hanging high on an apple branch to turn it a bit around, and then to harvest the apples. A few more. And the last two. And now we will shift the arms to the outside, breathing in. And out we're shifting just with the upper part of the body over to one side. And again in into the middle. And out to the other side. Again in into the middle. And out to the other side. Again in into the middle. And out to the other side. Again in into the middle. And out straight. Again in. And out to the other side. And again in. And out we're doing the buffalo fighting its hangover. We're breathing in. And out we're bringing one shoulder in front. And again in. And out the other shoulder in front. Again in. Out the shoulder in front. Again in. And then again. Last time. Out. And breathe in. And out we go down. Breathe deep in. And out over to one leg. And again in. And out over to the other. Breathe again in. Out of the middle. And now breathe in. And out we come slowly up with a round back, making it a top and backwards. And the arm pause. The toes are pointing to the outside, so we have an all-level space between the heels, so that we're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And out we're going down. Place the elbows against the inside of the knees, and breathing in, straightening up the back. And out to the back. And out again. And out again. And again in. And out to the back. And again in. And out the last time down into the garden pose. We're breathing in and straightening up the back. And out we're coming slowly up in one straight line. Now we see our pose. Or heel of a mobile leg on top of a knee of a standing leg. We're breathing in. Because only if you can do it before to injure your knee. And out we're going down. So there are Kew Gardens and Sissinghurst in England, Graves Castle and Inverary Castle in Scotland. Then there's Wadnet Garden in Wales and Mount Stuart in Northern Ireland. To the other leg. And there are three architects in the firms: Sir Norman Foster, Lord Richard Rogers, and Dame Zahra Hadid. The three fashion designers: Mary Quant, Alexander McQueen, and Vivian West. The closing exercise, we're breathing in. And out. In. And out. That last jump in. Out. Out. Breathe in and close the legs. And out. Thank you very much. And until next time.